On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, I'm going to tell you how, by finding the right people, the right partners, you can actually get thousands and thousands of shares on your posts and articles. I'm going to tell you exactly who to reach out to make this happen.
The Massive Agent Podcast, with lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 67 of the Massive Agent Podcast. Thank you for listening. Today is a very good show, and I think you'll find that this is going to be pretty tactical and kind of a no-brainer once you hear about it. But I was able, when I first started my career with content marketing, I started out blogging, and I learned how by finding the right people who had similar interests or similar objectives as me, I could actually get thousands and thousands and thousands of shares on my articles and on my posts. You just have to reach out to the right people and ask. And I'm going to tell you exactly who those people are and how you should do it and why they will be willing to share your content, as long as it's good stuff, of course. So I'll give you I'll give you exact specifics, I guess. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. This is episode 67, guys. Starting off with a bang here. If you do not already know, if you're new to the show, my name is Dustin Brohm, your host. I am a real estate agent in Salt Lake City with eXp Realty. I'm the co-founder of the Industry Syndicate. That's real estate's very first media network. This show is, of course, a proud founding member of the Industry Syndicate. You can check out all of our other shows, flash briefings, podcasts, video shows over at industrysyndicate.com. I'm also the co-founder of the Massive Agent Society. That is our copy and paste database of Facebook ads that are proven to work, a training system, online course that teaches you how to become a Facebook ads and lead gen master. I'll talk about that at the end of the show today. And to recap, the spring sale that we did on Massive Agent Society lifetime memberships is now over if you're hearing this, but we still have lifetime memberships. Those are still available, just not as deeply discounted as before, but they're still cheaper for a whole lifetime membership that includes all of our future courses and products. That's still less than 6 months of coaching with frickin' Tom Ferry. So, there you go. Take that for what it's worth. I'm just saying. Stay tuned to the end of the show as well, because since we did the spring sale the last week that you heard about on episode 66, we sold out of quite a few markets. But if you look at the map of the US and of Canada, there's pretty much most markets are still available. But I will tell you which ones are not available anymore at the end of the show today. So if you do not hear your market mentioned, that means you can still become an all-access member of the Massive Agent Society. You still could reserve and own that territory for life with a lifetime membership. And if you're new to the show, first time hearing about it, real quick, this just means we only allow one agent or one loan officer per market to join the society, because we don't want 20 different agents or 12 agents and 8 loan officers running the same ads in the same market. That's stupid. That's not something I can stomach. So we limit it to just one. But that means once it's sold out, it's sold out. So we'll get to that at the end of the show. With this strategy here of content marketing and getting, like, if you're trying to get thousands of shares on your posts and on your articles, especially with your articles, the goal there is to get a crap load of traffic to your website, right? Well, when you do that and you have a decent website that has some calls to action and, some places where it can capture leads, it can direct people to request a home value. If you're a lender, it can request people to apply or to ask about a quote or inquire about different loan programs. You need to have some calls to action on your website. Hopefully you have a decent website. And I'll get to the website I use and that I recommend. Let's see, I've been using them for like 4 years. I guess it's been between 3 and 4 years now. I've been with the same website provider and they do an amazing job. I don't have to worry about any hosting. I don't have to worry about any upkeep. I just put the content on the site. They handle the rest. It's been amazing. So I'll get to that. But as you can imagine, if you're driving a crap load of traffic to your site, you're going to start getting leads. That's the goal here, right? Is to get a bunch of leads organically through your content. And you need to make sure you have a good CRM to do that. A future show, I was planning on doing it this week, but I just had so much going on. I'm traveling right now. As you're hearing this, I'm probably traveling back to Salt Lake from Phoenix. I was speaking at an event for Fairway Independent Mortgage Southwest, and then another one for Chicago Title, on Tuesday and Wednesday. So probably traveling, had a lot going on, some craziness. So I wasn't able to do the show, on why I switched from LionDesk to Wise Agent around the first of this year. I switched my CRMs. I'd been with LionDesk for a couple of years, and I recently switched to Wise Agent. I will be doing a full show soon in coming weeks, not too far off, about exactly why and what you should look for in a CRM and why Wise Agent is what I picked and why maybe depending on what your needs are, that might not be the right fit for you, but maybe you need this other one over here. We'll do this CRM episode. In the meantime, if you guys want to give Wise Agent a shot, two things. All right. First off, write down this link, massiveagentpodcast.com/wiseagent, massiveagentpodcast.com/wiseagent. You can get a 30-day free trial with that link and access to all of my personal drip campaigns. All right. So these are not live yet, but they will be within the week. All of my personal drip campaigns that I use, I will be sharing with everyone who wants to import them into their own account through Wise Agent. Wise Agent enables that through the platform, but you have to use massiveagentpodcast.com/ man, I'm having a hard time saying slash. Just ridiculous today. massiveagentpodcast.com/wiseagent. And then they can track it. They know who came through that promo link, and they can track it. So make sure you do that. Give them a 30-day free trial. Try it out if you're looking for a better CRM, and I'll explain later why I love Wise Agent. They just have so many more freaking features. It's unbelievable. So check that out. All right. Getting your stuff shared. All right. So when I first started, if you haven't heard all of our episodes, like from the very, very beginning, this might be a new story to you. So I'll recap, because we did a show kind of on this, but not as in depth as this one will be way back, like 6-9 months ago, something like that. When I first started in content marketing, I got a website through Easy Agent Pro and started blogging. And my hopes was that, because at the time it was just theory, my hope was that I could put out some articles, write some articles, create some content, and have buyers or sellers come to me, right? Like through Google, through SEO, they would be able to find me, find my website, and then reach out to me wanting to hire me. And at the time it was just theory. Three months in, somebody found me through a YouTube video that I did, and which is funny because the YouTube video, I just downloaded my Snapchat story where I talk about why Zillow sucks so bad, specifically the Zestimates. And I uploaded that Snap story to YouTube. They found that led them to my website. They looked around there, called me, and they're like, hey, you're our guy. We need to buy a house. So 3 months in, I got validation. Thank God. I don't know how much longer I would have stuck with it back then. I was not as strong and resilient as I am now. So it proved to me that content marketing works, that you really can attract business to you without chasing it down all the time, without cold calling and door knocking and sending mailers and hitting up your sphere of influence and all that crap. And when I say crap, I don't mean it doesn't ever work, that it works for no one. Obviously that stuff works, but is it the best thing you could do with your time? Probably not. Probably not. Content marketing works, and it continues to work over time because your content continues to get more views and more views and more views. So I started writing, and once I started writing, I realized, oh crap, creating the content is really just the first step. You have to put out good stuff. It has to be optimized for SEO and for Google and everything like that. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now that this is great, I don't want to just sit back and wait for Google to hopefully start showing this to people in the search results. I need to get traffic. I need to start getting people to see this. So then you have to learn how to promote your content. You have to learn social media marketing. You have to learn Facebook ads. And this little trick that I learned that really just blew up my whole business in a good way. Not the bad kind of blow up, like, game over. I mean, like, took it to the next level. I specifically wrote an article called all about moving to Salt Lake City. And it was very strategic. One of my good friends who's a blogger and he's a mentor of mine, his name's Ryan Fitzgerald with Raleigh Realty in Raleigh, North Carolina. Great dude. He absolutely kills it with his website. But he reached out to me. He's like, dude, you have no idea how many clients I've had from my moving to Raleigh article. You need to write one for moving to Salt Lake. And I'm like, oh, geez, yeah, I guess I should. And so I wrote one, and it's, I put a ton of work into it, photos, everything like that. It was like the 15 reasons why you should move to Salt Lake City. And I think there was like 6,000 words or 8,000 words. It's a big, long article, but Google loves that. Google loves that shit. And so I published it. And of course, even though it was meant to get people searching for moving to Salt Lake, which is a highly searched keyword. You have to learn some keyword research if you're going to do this stuff. Just Google it and YouTube it. But once it's crazy because the same thing. I created this article and I'm like, this thing's amazing. Now I need people to see it. And I don't know what happened, but I'm like, who would be interested in sharing this? Because here's a little tip for you. When it comes to telling Google what content is good and what isn't, social shares is absolutely crucial. Okay. Just people liking and reacting and commenting on your Facebook posts is one thing. That's good for your Facebook SEO, your Facebook algorithm. But Google doesn't know about that. But Google looks at the social shares. It looks at how many times a particular piece of content has been shared on social media. Because when it's shared, it sees it as, okay, this is good stuff. Otherwise, somebody wouldn't be sharing it. Social sharing is directly related to your SEO and how your website and your blog and all your content shows up in the search engines. And so I'm like, who would be interested in sharing this about moving to Salt Lake? And I thought who has aligned interests? Who also wants to get in front of people moving to Salt Lake City? And I thought moving companies, obviously. Moving companies would be, maybe the Department of Commerce, the Chamber of Commerce. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What about like the tourism board? Like the local tourism board or some of these mommy blogs that focus on travel and, the local area, right? Well, it was then that I realized there's a local media company called Visit Salt Lake, and it's not a government agency, but they have some sort of relationship with the state of Utah to get more tourism. They want more people to come here. And so I sent them this article. I think I sent a tweet, a message on Twitter to their Twitter profile. I think that's how I first made contact with them. And I sent them a link and I'm like, hey, I just put together this huge resource for anyone thinking of moving to Salt Lake City. You should check it out. And if you would please, if you think it'd be relevant for your audience, please consider sharing it. And they did. And these guys have hundreds of thousands of Facebook followers. Like they are the big media company in Salt Lake. So they shared it. They shared that article on Facebook and there were thousands and thousands of comments. It got shared thousands and thousands of times. I think 2,000 times on Facebook. They put it on Pinterest and that got pinned like crazy. They put it on Twitter and it got retweeted like crazy. And so Google saw that and rocketed that page, which was done well. Like I had done all the SEO stuff and had the keywords there and really, really spent a lot of time. I probably spent 2 weeks on the article, legitimately. But because I knew it was going to be like the article, like my main pillar piece of content. So I took the time to make sure it was great. Then once all of a sudden Google sees it being shared thousands of times on social, it went to number 1 on page 1 of Google and it stayed there for a couple of years and it's still on page 1. It's like number 2, 3, 4, 5. It depends on the search term, but it's an older article, right? And it's still there. It's still bringing me leads. And I mean, I've made hundreds of thousands in commission. Not to say like multiple hundreds of thousands. I've made at least 100,000 in commission, from just clients that found me through that one article. It's crazy. And so, but it taught me that if you just learn to find the people whose interests are aligned with yours as a real estate agent, if you want to attract people to move to your town, there are other people outside of our industry who also want the same thing. Your local chamber of commerce, a local travel blog, a local personality, even just like a local personality that's really proud of the town and wants it to grow. Like find those people who have large followings on social media. Find those accounts. With Salt Lake, it was Visit Salt Lake, and they have to do with tourism. So find a tourism related one. Maybe it's a mommy blog. Maybe it's who knows? Maybe it's like a travel site. But find those social accounts, create your piece of content, and reach out and say, hey, this is in line. Like this is what this meets the kind of content that you share already. Because if you guys are new to content marketing, know this. We're always looking for new content to share. And you're probably always looking for articles and stuff about your area to share as well. Content that isn't yours. So if someone reaches out with something relevant that accomplishes what you want the content to accomplish, you're going to share it. So reach out to those people. When you find the right people, and ideally they have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they share it, that piece of content can go to page 1 on Google and change your business overnight. It's crazy. Not literally overnight, but within a couple weeks, within a month, like your business can just get nuts, and the traffic to your website can get nuts. I'm telling you guys, you have to take a step back, zoom out, think about whose interests are aligned with yours. Maybe it's a local insurance agency, a moving company, an event center, a conference center, all of the above. And don't just reach out to one, reach out to all of them. Hit them up on Facebook, send them a Facebook message, hit them up on Twitter, find their email, submit a contact form on the website, hit them all up, send it to them and say, hey, I created this. It's a great resource for people traveling here or in the area or wanting to move here or whatever, and say, would you please share this? Make sure you explicitly ask them. If you think this is helpful and you think it's relevant to your brand, please consider sharing. And they will. They will. All right. And do that over and over. Reach out to local influencers, local mommy bloggers, everybody. You do this and I promise you, it will change your business forever. You will have so much traffic. You will become one of the best, most visited social accounts or websites in the area as long as you're putting out good stuff. Okay. Make sure that you don't just do the one article. Make sure that you do a few and keep the good stuff coming. They could be YouTube videos. It doesn't have to be an article. It could be a YouTube video, right? Like I'm moving to Sioux Falls YouTube video. It doesn't matter, but if it's relevant, they're going to share it and it will change your business overnight. Organic leads like crazy. They'll keep coming for years as long as it's good content. Unbelievable. So that changed everything. I made sure that I went into my CRM. At the time, it was not Wise Agent. I was using Lion Desk, and I created a special drip campaign for people who filled out a particular form on my site on that article, and it assigned them to a relevant drip campaign. You can do that with Wise Agent. You can do that with most CRMs. Make sure that those people that reach out organically do not fall through the cracks. Most of them emailed me. Most of them didn't come through a contact form, but the organic leads come from all different ways. A Facebook message, a contact form, a text, a phone call, an email. So make sure that you have the infrastructure set up to capture those people and make sure they don't fall through the cracks. Use Agentology if you want. Agentology is great to respond to those people. I mean, you just have to think through and this is a huge mistake that people make because we're real estate agents. We're loan officers. Like we close loans all day. Like that's our business. We sell homes. We have to go show homes and do listing presentations, but we're also marketers. So we have to do all the marketing stuff in addition to it. That's why our business is so hard if you're a solopreneur, because you have to do all the marketing stuff in addition to the real estate agent or loan officer stuff. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Doesn't mean that you can't. You absolutely can. If I can do it, you freaking can. I'll tell you that much. But it just takes a lot of extra effort and working some extra hours. Maybe you work some nights. Maybe you don't take the weekend off for a little while and work, get shit set up, and it pays off. If you're at a point where you're struggling or you're just not satisfied with your business, you got to make the commitment, and it's time. It's time. You have to do that. So a couple of these vendors I mentioned, if you want to get discounts on them, I mentioned Easy Agent Pro, massiveagentpodcast.com/EAP. If you don't have a clue what they do, I'm telling you, they are the best value in the real estate industry for a real estate website that has home search. They have landing pages included. They have texting. Like, they have all this cool stuff in the website. Great websites, all the calls to action. And it's the best value. It's less than $200 a month. Like, you don't have to spend $500 or $1,000 a month on a goddamn website to capture leads. I don't. And I have no desire to leave. So set up a demo with them. See what they can do. Set up a demo. They'll walk you through so you can see what I see. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/EAP. And then I mentioned Agentology. I mentioned Wise Agent. You can get discounts on all of these vendors that I personally use and I think are absolutely crucial to your overall system. You can get links to all of it at MassiveAgentPodcast.com/resources. The resources page on our site has discounts to all of these different vendors and service providers and more. So go check those out. Discounts on podcast hosts, discounts on a service called Repurpose that I use that turns, like, it can turn a Facebook Live into a YouTube video automatically. It automatically takes each podcast episode and automatically creates a YouTube video every time I publish a new podcast. It puts it on YouTube also. That's called Repurpose. You can get a discount over there. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/resources. But think again, guys, about the content marketing. Even if you're not blogging, even if all you're doing is you're YouTubing, maybe you're just doing IGTV, maybe you just want your Facebook posts on your business page to be shared more so you can build a bigger Facebook page following. That's all good, right? Find the other pages that are in line, that have similar interests to you, that all have to do with your local area, and create content and ask them to share it. Create content and feature other, like, do the 10 best coffee shops in town. And then when you post it, tag each one of those coffee shops in the post, and then email them and say, hey, here's a link to the article. You were just included at number 6. Congratulations. Please consider sharing this. And some of them will and some won't. You start doing that stuff and you start really growing your following because you get others to share your content. If right now you're sitting here listening to this and you don't have other people outside of yourself and your friends and your family sharing your content, you can absolutely change that. There's no excuse for that except for just a lack of trying. A lack of trying. You just have to think outside the box, implement some of the shit that I'm talking about, and you can absolutely do it. It doesn't matter if you're an agent or a loan officer. You can all do this. Loan officers, you guys have the same potential customer base as an agent. You realize that. Lenders, agents, we're all marketing to the same people. The same people. Just because you're a loan officer doesn't mean that you have to talk about rates and mortgages and bond charts all goddamn day. Unless your goal is to turn people off and make them unfollow you, because that's boring as all hell. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's all about the house. The house. Okay? The house and the area. The local area. That's what's sexy. That's what gets attention. Not the mortgage. Not the mortgage. Before I wrap up this piece on getting your stuff shared thousands of times, if you're unsure of who some of these other pages or personalities or brands are, look on Facebook. Type your town or your city into Facebook and see what pages come up. Look on Pinterest. Pinterest is an amazing place to find other mommy bloggers or local travel bloggers or whatever that are doing content on your area. Search Pinterest. Even if you're not an active Pinterest user, use it as a search engine and then find some of those blogs, find some of those websites, and then reach out. You realize when you're creating content and sharing it online, usually you're always looking for something new to share. So these companies, these brands, it's not, when you're on the outside looking in, you're like, oh my God, I'd be so honored if you would share this, right? But when you're on the other side, you're like, yes, please, I would like a piece of content to share that's good, that isn't my own. Like they're almost like wanting you to reach out and say, hey, share this. Like you're giving them a piece of content. Guys, break down that wall. They need you. They need your content. Just find the right people, get them to share it. And you just have to be bold enough to ask and hit them up on multiple platforms. Twitter. I don't even use Twitter really, but that's how I reached out to Visit Salt Lake and made the first contact. And they were like, oh yes, we'll absolutely share it. This is great. I was blown away. Like it works, guys. When you start getting thousands and thousands and thousands of shares on your stuff, you're going to realize it was so worth it to reach out and ask that people share your stuff. Make sure you're not going overboard with it. Make sure you're not being too pushy. Make sure you're not being too ridiculous, because some people do that. But if it's the right fit, it's good. Like if you reach out to a local dentist and you're like, hey, can you please share this post? Like that's spammy. If you reach out to the local travel blogger who focuses on all the great stuff in your area and you just did an article on the 10 best coffee shops in town, they will share that as long as you're not a douchebag. You know what I mean? So there you go. Content marketing, guys, it works. The more eyeballs you get, the better. Marketing one-on-one. The more eyeballs you get, the better. The more people see your stuff, the bigger your following gets, the better your content in the future gets. Here's a little algorithm tip for Facebook and Instagram. If you guys put out one of these posts that just starts getting shared like crazy, make sure that the very next post you do, or rather do this, okay? Because I'll talk Facebook specifically. Facebook loves when people use Facebook Live. They're still pushing that heavy, and they incentivize people to use Facebook Live. So if you know you're about to do a post that you want a lot of people to see, that's maybe it's one of those right hook posts. You're asking for a sale, you're asking for something, or it's just an article that you want more people to see. Do a Facebook Live. Make sure that you stay on long enough to get a bunch of engagement going. Really plan out your Facebook Live and do that well. The very next post after that, that's when you should share the post that you want people to see organically. You're going to get a little organic boost if you do it after you've done a Facebook Live that people have engaged with. There's just a little tip for you on how to hack the algorithm, because Facebook Live helps. It shows the algorithm, hey, this is good stuff. There's a lot of engagement. So the very next post, you're going to get a little more organic reach out of. That's when you share an article or a piece of content you want everyone to see. Get to work, guys. This is fun stuff. I know it might seem overwhelming, and it can be. I remember when I first started my website, I was like, I don't have a clue about SEO. I was like, how am I ever going to learn this stuff? It's so complicated. And I just one day at a time started, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I would just take one step forward, learn one additional thing, and then one more thing and one more thing. And pretty soon after a month or so, I knew so many new things, and then it clicked for me. And then I kept learning, and I still do it every day. I try to learn at least something new every single day. And that's how you get good. So don't worry about it if you're not a pro, because nobody who just starts out is a frickin' pro. That's not how it works. You can't just show up never having played football before and show up for the NFL draft, unless you're a comedian, then that could be pretty funny. But you know what I'm saying. You have to learn by doing, and it just takes work. That's it. I've got to be honest, guys. Because I have a lot of coaching clients. I talk to whenever I speak, whenever I travel, whenever I open my messages. I talk to a lot of you guys, and the biggest underlying theme of why I believe people are not succeeding at the level they should be or want to be is a lack of effort. Or rather, let me qualify that, because I'm not saying you're a lazy piece of shit, but some of you are. And if you are, cool. I'm not going to take that back if you are, but most of you aren't. But maybe you're just not working as hard. Maybe you need an extra hour a day. Maybe you need to do one extra post a day. Maybe you need to spend 30 minutes learning some topic every day. Most of you guys need a little extra. You need to try a little harder and do it consistently, and then you will win. So many of you are so close. You just have to keep going and keep learning every single day. I hope you take that to heart. I hope you do that. I mean it. I know how that worked for me in my own personal career. Get a little bit better every single day, and over the course of a year, you're a completely different person. You're a freaking professional who you're an expert if you get better every single day. If you get 10% better every day, that's 365% better over the year. Actually more than that, because it compounds. If you're 10% better, then, it compounds. You get what I'm saying though. I'm a real estate agent, so obviously I'm not a math whiz. Let's be real. So guys, I'm super excited and super thankful for all of you who have enabled our Alexa flash briefing called the Massive Agent Minute. Super thankful for everyone who's left a review for us. Why do I leave it plugged in? Alexa, stop. Every time. Everyone who's left a review for us on the Alexa platform, super helpful. Thank you. If you have not enabled it, all you have to do is say, Alexa, enable the Massive Agent Minute. That is our flash briefing. It's between 1 and 4 minutes of new stuff every single day, 7 days a week. I even do it on Saturday and Sunday. And it's an extension of this show. Any new ideas or tips or strategies or thoughts or jokes or stories or whatever that I feel like sharing that I think would be helpful to you, I do it on the flash briefing. So please check that out. All you have to do to your Alexa device is say, Alexa, enable the Massive Agent Minute. And then once it's enabled, to play it each day, you just say, play my flash briefing. I mentioned the Massive Agent Society up at the beginning. We did a sale last week for $1,000 off the lifetime membership. It's still, even at full price, like I said before, less than 6 months of shitty coaching with Tom Ferry, with the Tom Ferry. It's not even with him, with his organization, with his coaches, right? I was meeting with someone the other day. We had lunch, an agent locally, and on his credit card, he puts, they make you sign up for a year contract, and it's $1,600 or $1,700 every 3 months for a year. So 4 payments of $1,600 or $1,700 for a year. I just, guys, I'm sure that's brought a lot of value to some people if you do it. But if you're listening to this show, I think something else might resonate with you. Please check out massiveagentsociety.com to learn if what we do, if our coaching program, if our training course and our Facebook ads database is what you need for your business and where you're at right now. So we still have lifetime memberships where you can literally exclusively, and I don't mean exclusive the way Zillow does, where you exclusively own your zip code with 8 other people. It's not the exclusive that's shared. You literally can take your whole market and claim it and be the only agent or the only loan officer in that whole area within the Massive Agent Society, all access. So massiveagentsociety.com, you'll get details there. I'm pulling up the map here of all of our all of the markets that are taken. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you do not hear your market mentioned, that means it is still available to be claimed within the Massive Agent Society. You don't have to do the lifetime. It's by far the best deal. You don't have a recurring payment. It's a one-time deal. And I mean, it's very, very affordable. Or you can do it on a monthly basis as well. Totally up to you. It's just a little bit more, but still very, very affordable. Let's see. Map. Sold out map. If you want to see this map here, so this is as of the time I'm recording this, which is Tuesday, the 26th Tuesday, April 2nd. Tuesday, right? Jesus. Tuesday, April 2nd. As of Tuesday, April 2nd, this is bound to change, but these markets are currently sold out. So if you do not hear yours is still available. And to see the up-to-date map of sold out markets, go to massiveagentsociety.com, and in the toolbar in the top or the menu, just click claim market. That'll take you to our sold out map. And if your market is circled in red, then awesome. Oh, that's good. We have an error on the Google map. That's fantastic. Well, bear with me here. Sold out market. Lovely. Okay. All right, so these markets are currently sold out. Essex County, Massachusetts, which is north of Boston. Boston is not taken. Boston is still available, but this particular outskirt of Boston is taken. Colorado Springs, Colorado, Carmel, Zionsville, Lebanon, and Westfield, Indiana, part of Indianapolis, is taken. Palm Beach County, Florida, The Woodlands, Texas, Vancouver, Washington, Arlington Heights, Illinois, Medford, Oregon, Tampa, Florida, Salisbury, Maryland, Conroe, Texas, Bentonville, Arkansas, Horseheads, New York, Gilbert, Chandler, and Mesa, Arizona. Scottsdale is still available. The rest of Phoenix is still available. San Diego, Northeast, so most of San Diego is still available. Wilmington, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. Northeast Los Angeles, which includes, Pasadena, freaking Google Map, come on. Pasadena, Glendale, Eagle Rock in Los Angeles is taken. Temecula, California, Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, Hampstead, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Lloydminster, Alberta, Saskatchewan in Canada, Aliso Viejo, California, Newport News, Williamsburg, Virginia, Kansas City are all taken. If your market was not mentioned, it is still available. It is still available, and they're changing constantly. Even some of the markets I just mentioned, most of them are not lifetime, so at some time over the next few months or whatever, they might become available. MassiveAgentSociety.com. And wow, I'm struggling today. I'm going to record a whole week of flash briefings before I head to Phoenix. So I need to really get on my game here because I'm struggling. Gotta record seven straight flash briefings after this for the week so that I'm good and don't miss any content. Anyways, so EXP agents, because I'm an agent with EXP and I've been with them for almost a year now. Any agent who comes to join my EXP team gets free membership to the Massive Agent Society. So if you've been considering switching brokerages, first off, go to massiveagentpodcast.com/EXP and watch that video. massiveagentpodcast.com/EXP. Click play on the video to see if EXP is for you. And let's talk. If you're wanting to join the society and you're thinking of making a brokerage switch, let's have a conversation and see if it'd be a good fit for you or not. But my EXP agents do get free Massive Agent Society membership. That is that. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you really zoom out and think about who in your local area would be interested in sharing your content. Whose interests are aligned with yours? Who has a similar customer to you? Who is interested in seeing people move to your area? There's so many other people. Then you just have to find the pages, the brands, the blogs, the websites, the Instagram accounts that have large followings and ask them to share your stuff. That's it. Please do that. Let me know how it goes. Shoot us a message over on Instagram @MassiveAgent. If you're not already following us on Instagram, what the hell? What in the good Sam Hill are you doing? Or I know what you're not doing, but follow us @MassiveAgent and shoot me a message and say you heard the show. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the spring and go sell some homes. Take care.